Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another top secret review. This time I got something a little different and rather special, in my opinion, for you. Today I have got Top Secret's Agent 13 and the Midnight Avenger paperback novel from, I believe it's 1987. I should have looked this up before I did this, right, folks? First printing 1986 by Flint Dille and David Marconi. Absolutely great novel. I've got the second one on order, and hopefully I'll have it in time to review it next month. A little out of sequence, but I'll bring it up. Maybe I'll do it during the PDF review, just to compile them all together. Absolutely love it. In the style of the Shadow and the Phantom, a pulp action hero with no F's to give, two-fisted, two-gun action, all the way to the very end, the cliffhanger. I can't wait to see what happens next, because not only did I read it and lived it, no, just kidding, but I also got the graphic novel by TSR, also by Flint Dille and David Marconi, and I guess Dan Spiegel was probably the artist. Illustrated Dan Spiegel, lettered by Carrie Spiegel. Oh, that's cool. And colored by Les Dorscheid. Absolutely, if you're not into the paperback, I'd still recommend getting the graphic novel. It ran me about $10, and it was well worth it. Not really a sought-after item, because Top Secret, kind of isn't the most popular game, and kind of went the way of so many other games, and even though they made a third edition, and I'll be reviewing that next month, it's really not the most popular genre, and I'm curious as to why folks feel that way. If you guys out there would be interested in playing or running a contemporary, modern, or pulpy action game, I'd love to hear why and why not. This novel was an absolute joy to read. The art was top notch. The cliffhanger, perfect. Everything about it. Excuse me, folks. Should have brought water up here. But I'm absolutely loving the whole Agent 13 aspect of Top Secret. Top Secret in general is one of my favorite, easily top 5, at least of TSR games. And this one was no disappointment whatsoever. I really can't wait to get into the second novel when it gets here. But even more so, I'm really contemplating running a pulp 1930s, 1940s adventure game, based on the Shadow and the Phantom and Doc Savage and all the greats of the time. There's so much to be inspired by from all of the pulp action heroes of the day. The Ghost, just so many. I've been really diving deep into it because, as you guys know, I've been working on a storyline for a pulp game. I was initially thinking of using, what was it, Amazing Adventures, but having read through most of the Top Secret rules, I think I'm going to go with Top Secret. It seems to be a more customizable system, skill-based, which, is a great way to customize a character from the ground up. And Top Secret does that in spades with the advantages and disadvantages, and the skill system really allows you to build your character, so to speak. And I really hate that term. You're not building a person, you're creating. But I digress. How would you guys feel about being in a pulp game? Would you run one? Would you play in one? What kind of character would you make if you were going to play one? Would you play the man of mystery, the gumshoe detective, the bitter war veteran? I'd love to hear what you guys think about the whole genre of pulp, and why today we seem to be stuck in the fantasy only RPGs. There's a few fringe sci-fi games out there and sci-fi gamers out there, but the fantasy genre seems to be, the 800-pound gorilla, and I still to this day do not understand why there aren't more people playing modern or semi-modern, supernatural-esque or X-Files or things like that, even Stranger Things, that brought so many people into the D&D genre, but nobody wanted to play, a game, a Erie, Indiana, if you will, Indiana Jones, something, in a world like our own with all the rules, but, with a twist somehow. And when I start working on the Nazi dinosaur cults of Antarctica, I would like your guys' your input, what you do when you don't like about the whole idea of a modern or contemporary game with some weirdness, of course. Otherwise, it would be probably pretty depressing and pretty fatal. Let's face it. A bullet and you're down. That's it. But in the world of pulp, you can take a bullet or 2 or 12 and still keep on swinging. And for me, it just has so much to offer when it comes to what real heroes are made of. And I love it. I will never be able to get enough of it. I'm going to keep on reading it and listening to it on the old radio shows and that sort of thing. If you guys have any suggestions or any comments, I'd love to hear them. And why we need to bring back pulp and all its glory back into our gaming table, into our lives, into our minds, as we look for inspiration to make our gaming experience that much better. So until next time, folks, I look forward to hearing from you. I will see you guys tomorrow night with a paint and chat. And until then, folks, happy trails.